Bit of a rule, I watched 2 episodes before I do a junket, but I watched all 5. I finished it about 2 a.m. last night. I was just watching it like that.
No way!
Yeah.
Great.
Yes,
Good.
so lots to talk about.
Yes.
Yeah, good. Okay. I mean, of course, the title is Possession, but that kind of barely scratches the surface of what this kind of show is all about. So I'm just interested, when you guys are with like friends and someone says, "Oh, what's this show about? What have you been working on recently?" How do you condense this and explain it to me?
I'm glad you said that because I'm finding it really, really hard. There's like the narrative, then the genre, then the tone, I feel like. So it's this story of Claudia, who's played wonderfully by Gugu, who's this very ambitious solicitor who's kind of keen to get ahead and is drawn into this at first inheritance dispute that kind of becomes something deeper and darker. And then there's the themes of colonialism, reparations, enslavement, kind of general repair of a kind of a lot of dark history. And then there's sort of the colour and the saturation and the thickness of the way that it looks, which our director Storm Salter did so beautifully.
Yeah, oh my God, I love Storm's, the way he describes it as a tropical noir, which I think is a sort of, a succinct kind of way to describe all of those themes. But as you said, I mean, it's a supernatural thriller, that deals with identity and justice and legacy, and really a very propulsive, thrilling ride.
Yeah, I mean, because the balancing of kind of tones, I mean, because obviously there is the kind of horror elements and it plays on some of the kind of archetypal possession tropes, but then you've got this kind of historical period kind of aspect to it as well. But then there's these really lovely moments of tenderness, like when Mercy is doing Claudia's hair. It's such a beautiful moment. And I think episode 4 just in general is just so incredibly moving. Carla, how can you talk about just bringing so much together into one script how did you ensure it kind of would all work together? Was it kind of on set that you felt really like, okay, this is really going to kind of come together? Was it in the edit when you saw it? Because I guess it's such a incredible balancing of tones and genres in this show.
Yeah, I remember saying throughout the process, like, this is bonkers, and people telling me that it was, which I wasn't sure whether to take as a compliment or not really. But I feel really privileged that as a writer, I was really allowed to kind of let my imagination run wild, and because it does go into supernatural themes and kind of magical realism and fantasy. There's no kind of limit to where your imagination can go and where your characters can go and what situations you can put them in. I mean, you mentioned episode 4, which really kind of reaches the boundaries of what is possible and the imagination and everything. So, it's just about being given the freedom to, explore as a writer.
And I know it sounds like a really innocuous thing to pick up on, but we see Claudia kind of vaping at the start. And so many people vape these days, but you never kind of see it on screen. And instantly it was this little flourish of authenticity. That instantly I kind of felt I knew something about the character. As an actor, when you read those little notes in a script and stuff, how much does it do just to find just a tiny bit of information to kind of help you connect you to a role?
Yeah, I mean, I was unsure whether we needed it initially because I thought, oh, is this going to be something that's, going to get banned or going to seem dated or, and actually talking to both Storm and Carla, I know, Storm was very much like, no, she needs to have a vice. We want to know that this woman who seems to have it all together, that she's not perfect. She is a human being. And I think those details of character throughout the script really help you, in some ways, make her more relatable. She's flawed. She's on a journey like we all are. And I think, to have those nuances, I think really give you something to, obviously structure your character on. So for me, those details, are very helpful. And I think, give her somewhere to go.
Well, it's so important that she is relatable because obviously she goes on to make decisions. Obviously, as in any thing with a horror, she'll do things like, when she opens the box, obviously, and you always go, no, don't do that. Like, I was constantly just going, just go home. Your dad's here, get out of there. So you kind of need to you have that relatability early on. But I wanted to know about shooting, obviously, in Jamaica and how important it was to be there. Because I know there's such a cliche to say, oh, it's a big part of it, it's a character in the story. But it really is in this instance. What was it like to be there? Did you have much time to kind of explore as well?
Well, first of all, we were very privileged to film there. I think in the Caribbean, a lot of the time, filming is more placed in Dominican Republic or places where they actually have film studios, and there aren't any in Jamaica, which is a great shame because there's so much talent there in terms of behind the camera and in front of it. So we were very privileged to have the resources to film there, and we had to film there because this is about Jamaica and the Britain's relationship with the country, and because of the themes of the piece, it had to feel grounded and it had to feel authentic and it had to be Jamaican.
Yeah, was it quite fun kind of blending some of the kind of tropes of horror and kind of the genre with kind of the Caribbean culture? Because obviously, I think, was there like steel drums in the score, in some of the score? And I think the Murder, She Wrote needle drop was great as well.
Yeah.
Was that quite fun to kind of bring these kind of worlds together and kind of have them work in unison?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, what a great privilege, like an amazing composer that we're working with of Jamaican descent. This is all actually down to Storm bringing together a group of people that authentically represent the culture and the history of the island, and also making it engaging and exciting and busy in the way that only he could. So credit to Storm and his fantastic team. Yeah.
Well, I think it's great, and I can't wait for people to see it so I can talk about it. Really. Thank you so much, guys. Much appreciated. Cheers.
You.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!